Hello guys, this is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over some 32-0 Capture the Flag gameplay. It's on the map Solace. Solace has become my new favourite map for Capture the Flag by a landslide. I just freaking love it. It's so fun. For me, it becomes like this 100-meter sprint record to try and go to Fuel Rod Cannon as quickly as I can and then go to their base and then just try and harass them in spawn. It's too much fun, and it does feel a little bit cruel. I mean, there's 3 guests on the enemy side, so you know they're going to be in for a rough ride. And it's pretty horrific. I'm playing with a friend by the name of Sev38. He's sniping in the background, so I love to have a good, reliable sniper in the background, and he saves me out of quite a few situations. In fact, all my subscribers, I've got like a subscriber shield in this game, and also capped 2 flags, which brings me on to a topic I just want to discuss quickly, and that is 2 criticisms that have been leveled against my channel recently, because I don't like hiding behind this curtain of obscurity, not telling you guys what I actually think about like some of the criticisms that have been leveled against my gameplay on my channel or whatever. I don't want to seem like I'm hiding something or not willing to actually defend myself. I don't really care, it's just YouTube, you know, this is for fun, it's gameplay videos, so it should be taken, you know, with a pinch of salt. I obviously don't get angry when people say, you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. It helps, like, make my channel better. But the 2 things was, the first of which is, I don't play the objective enough in games, or sometimes I let down the team in terms of objective, and I understand why people would get frustrated by that, and I kind of have a controversial, and some people might consider it arrogant, perspective on the subject, but I hope you guys hear me out anyway, before, you know, raising your pitchforks and chasing me out of the town whilst I ride away on some little pony or something. I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that criticism is that I don't play the objective enough, and my stance on it is, if you play a Slayer role to the best of your abilities, and, you know, you become top of the team in kills, and you are constantly aggressive, you're not trying to hold back in order to promote you getting more kills, you're not playing more defensive to try and get the kills, you are literally just trying to push them in spawn, and if you see one, you know, getting to the halfway line, and you're not killing them, you know, and you are trying to kill them at all times, and you're doing that job successfully, then I see the blame should be placed on the members of your team. Because if you're top of that team and you're performing your Slayer role well, then it is the fault of the other players on your team for not playing the objective. Because, for example, if you have a player on your team who's going like, say, 12-6, and they're trying to play the objective, they're trying to just get as many kills as they can, they haven't got any objective points, then they just want to play the Slayer role because you know that you're playing bad people, but they're not well equipped enough to play the Slayer role just yet. They should be playing the objective, and I find that if I never feel a sense of guilt unless I'm doing terrible, and the bottom line is, if I am doing terrible, I will start playing that objective more, but it's just, you know, I don't post those games. I don't post the games where I try and cap a flag. Like, for example, if I know I'm not going to get gameplay and I'm doing terribly and I'm, you know, not performing my Slayer role to the best of my abilities, then I'll say, and let's say Solomon is, or let's say Severed Void is, or one of the other Halo YouTubers are, because I usually play with YouTubers, then they go and play Slayer role. And then I, you know, try and defend the flag, try and make sure they don't get killed as well, and just finish the game as quickly as possible for them. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad characteristic. You know, my Capture the Flag rank on my main account is still pretty high, I would argue. It's not like we lose a horrendous amount of games or anything like that. I'd say we win the vast majority of the Capture the Flag games we play. So it's just not something I feel particularly guilty for, and I hope you guys can forgive me of that. The other problem is the ranks and the second accounts. Now, Silly Solomon, me, and Severed Void have all made second and third accounts, and there are other Halo YouTubers that have, but I don't want to go, you know, calling people out in case they don't want to be called out on it. I don't know. Whatever. It's Severed Void and me and Solomon. And in fact, even Dragoon made one and live streamed on the account for some amount of time. And you guys might be thinking, well, isn't that cheap, just trying to make a second account to get against easier players, to get more gameplay, stuff like that? Isn't that a terrible thing to do? And the way I see it, Infinity Slayer, I have a 47 on my main account. I have a 38 on my second account. And this account I've already gotten up to a 20-something. Silly Solomon has a 50 on his Infinity Slayer. And Severed Void has something like a 40-ish on Infinity Slayer. And if you have tried to play on those accounts and tried to go for gameplays on it, it's darn near impossible. To get them on a regular basis and get them consistently, unless you're a freaking MLG Pro beast, it is pretty darn hard to do so. And I'm not one to hate on a ranking system. I think ranking system is perfect, but I think the problem with this game is there is no social playlist. And as a result, that can get very, very frustrating for trying to go for gameplay. So on Halo 3, I don't think I ever created a second account. Because it was fine, because you could play, you know, if you wanted to, you know, have fun, just play a little bit more relaxed and not play against competitive players all the time, you have this option of changing from ranked to social whenever you felt like, and I'd just play social Slayer, I'd play multi-team. But then if I wanted to play tryhard and, you know, play my best, do my best in games, then you would play ranked. But this game doesn't really give you that option, and I think that's a great crying shame, and I've talked to subscribers about this issue all the time, and I just think, with the level of playlist, I think there are a lot of playlists that could be integrated into a social and a lot of playlists kept as ranked, and it wouldn't make much difference to the game, and I think it would be a lot more enjoyable. Like, for example, Action Sack would make a great social playlist. Big Team Infinity Slayer would make a good social playlist. I don't think Big Team needs to be ranked particularly. Do you ever go into Big Team and you're try-harding your pants off? No, you want to get in a vehicle and you want to mess around murdering people. That's what's fun. Or you want to get a binary rifle and just try and do well with it all game. Like, you're not... I don't think Big Team deserves to be ranked or needs to be ranked by any stretch of the imagination. Then you could... There are certain playlists where it's hard to draw that distinction of what should be social or what couldn't be social. But I think, like, Regicide also, I think, would make a good social playlist. You know, if you've got regular Rumble Pit and then social... you ranked Rumble Pit and social Regicide. There's just lots of other playlists, and they could consolidate them pretty darn easily into ranked and social. And I just think it would make for a better, not only for me trying to go for gameplays. You know, obviously that would be good from a YouTuber's perspective, but I think it would also be good for players in general. Like I've always said, if you've got friends around your house and you want to have a fun time, I don't want to be worrying about the fact that they're going to get into a hard as hell ranked lobby. It's a problem for loads of people, and loads of people like don't want to play Halo on a regular basis with me because they know that it's just going to lead to hard lobbies, frustrating experiences. Like, even on my third account, like, you rocket up CSR pretty darn high, and that's why I still don't like... I mean, people could look at this and go, oh, you're on a second account, it's not that big a deal that you're getting, you know, it's not going to be hard for you to get gameplays, obviously, but I still have, like, a 38 in Infinity Slayer. I still have, you know, roughly high ranks. You can jump up by, like, 10 after your first game, if it goes really, really well. So yeah, I don't know, like, I hope you guys see where I'm coming from with that. It might have seemed a bit ranty, or I might have seemed a bit arrogant. I'm not trying to do that. I have those opinions, and if you guys disagree, that's totally fair enough. But that's just how I've seen it all the time. And social playlist, I don't know, like, Halo 3, I would argue, is a more competitive game than Halo 4. You know, it is more balanced at its core. There's less... you know, stuff going on, and yet they even managed to have a social playlist, but this game didn't, when it forsook quite a lot of the competitive elements that had been present in every single Halo game, which it mind boggles me, because if any game needed a social playlist, it was this. It really did, because this game is just something you play. For me personally, Halo 4 is more about chilled out, you know, relaxing, blasting up opponents, using your arm abilities, having a whale of a time. It's not more about, like, oh, I'm going to get into an MLG lobby, even though, you know, they're tuning the game to make that more viable and more enjoyable. Still, for me, Halo has been more about the pub stomping, the messing around, the trying to go for crazy streaks and stuff like that, not the, oh right, we've got to win this game, we've got to destroy these kids and do amazingly because we're the better team. I don't know. Maybe that's just my take on the matter. I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I've been Monster Major. Peace out.